There's not too many bands with an evolution quite as wild as Ice Nine Kills. From their humble beginnings as a ska band to a staple metalcore band for Warped Tour, all the way to being one of the biggest gateway bands into the scene, all without sacrificing their sound. So, how did the band latch onto the masses with a unique horror-themed gimmick? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the No Skip Show. I'm your host, Travis Platt, and today we are talking about our favorite horror movie, band, Ice Nine Kills. And this is our series, A Beginner's Guide, so we're going to give you all of the information on Ice Nine Kills to make sure that you go from a casual fan to a super fan. And even if you are a super fan, there's always room to learn and get a refresher course on your favorite bands. Make sure to give this video a like, comment below your favorite Ice Nine Kills song, and be sure to subscribe and smack that notification button to keep the record spinning. We have been super busy here on the channel, uploading long-form content every Monday and Thursday, and short-form content every single day. So make sure to follow to keep up to date. Check out all of my social medias. The link will be in the description below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Ice Nine Kills was formed all the way back in 2000. My high school friend's vocalist Spencer Charnas and guitarist Jeremy Schwartz, under the name of just Ice Nine. Eventually they began to add members to the group and started playing local shows in their hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. But to be completely honest, the ska meets pop punk demos that the band released early on showed very little promise, as their influences were extremely evident, even showing on their independent debut album Last Chance to Make Amends as well. But little did anyone know that this was just the beginning. 2007 saw the release of the band's first studio project, the Burning EP, through Red Blue Records, a local label in their hometown. The release featured a stronger element of pop punk, but they added elements of post-hardcore. Although raw, it showed a lot of complexity, but once again fell back on their previous inspirations. However, the buzz of this EP did get them on their very first national tours, opening for the likes of I See Stars, A Day to Remember, Paramore, As I Lay Dying, and Thursday. Not too bad for your first EP. But after a multitude of lineup changes, including the departure of founding guitarist Jeremy Schwartz, in 2009 the band pretty much combined with the New York-based post-hardcore group Remember Tomorrow, drastically altering their sound. And after some demos and signing to Ferret Music, owned by Carl Severson, they were invited to be on the Vans Warped Tour 2009. In 2010, after the minor buzz began to accumulate, the band released their second album, Safe As Just a Shadow, which gained critical acclaim from Revolver magazine. This album was the first to feature the experimental metalcore sound that we hear and love today. And with an appearance on the 2010 Vans Warped Tour, even more buzz developed around the band, despite not having quite a huge success. But this buzz continued with a spot on the bill of the All Stars Tour, featuring Suicide Silence, The Word Alive, Dance Gavin Dance, I See Stars, and Attila. God, that tour was stacked. The band's second EP, The Predator, was released on January 15, 2013. This release included the single, What I Never Learned in Study Hall, which featured Tyler Carter of the post-hardcore juggernauts Issues. This EP solidified the sound that Ice Nine Kills fans would come to love: complex guitar parts, immense breakdowns, and great callouts. The band would finally get the acclaim they've been looking for from both fans and the music community equally. And by grinding out in the studio and consistently releasing content, they were able to find the groove that they were searching for. But 2014 saw the band switch labels once again, releasing their third studio album, The Predator Becomes the Prey, on January 21st, 2014 on Outer Loop Records, a division of Fearless, their current label today. With the release, they were able to break onto the Billboard Top 200 charts, being number 3 on the Heat Seekers charts and number 13 on the Hard Rock charts. Following the hype, they made their triumphant return for their third Vans Warped Tour. But even during this busy stretch, the band continued to release music videos, staying in the conversation amongst metal fans, and the future for the band was still so bright. On December 4th, 2015, the band officially signed to Fearless Records and released their fourth album, Every Trick in the Book. This bombshell featured huge singles like The Nature of the Beast, and Me, Myself, and Hyde. This album was also the first to feature songs based on horror media, tackling the stories of horror novels, including The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dracula, The Exorcist, and Romeo and Juliet. This gimmick seemed to largely resonate with the listeners, selling 7,300 albums in the first week and reaching number 122 on the US Billboard 200. The band continued to tour constantly. Still, they would not rest. With a re-release of their 2010 album, Safe Is Just a Shadow, and an appearance on the Punk Goes Pop 7 compilation album, covering the Zayn and Taylor Swift song, I Don't Want to Live Forever. And even having another tour with Motionless in White and Chelsea Grin. But the success only goes up from here. June 20th, 2018 saw the band release the single The American Nightmare. Based off of the horror film A Nightmare on Elm Street. This announced their newest album cycle, The Silver Scream, the breakthrough album that the band had worked 18 years to finally accomplish. On October 5th, 2018, The Silver Scream was released, selling 19,000 copies in just 1 week. Every single one of the 13 tracks was inspired by a different horror movie, anywhere from Friday the 13th to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even getting Stanley Kubrick's grandson on the track Enjoy Your Sleigh. Other features included Less Than Jake, Randy Strohmeyer of Finch, and even their former guitarist, Jeremy Schwartz. The album showcased a mix of aggressive experimental metalcore, with also elements of radio rock and hard rock on songs like A Grave Mistake and Savages, expanding the band's fanbase greatly and launching A Grave Mistake to be the band's biggest song to date. Save yourself, save your soul, you need some man. The band proceeded to tour heavily to support this release, adding theatrical elements to their live shows and even playing the final Vans Warped Tour, the fest that featured them so prominently. Fun fact, the very final band that I ever saw on Vans Warped Tour was Ice Nine Kills. During the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020, the band still refused to take a break, even as the whole world did, releasing a parody song of Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, appropriately called Jason's Mom. Love behind a killing spree, whether her head's off or on, I'm in love with Jason's Mom. As well as a live album called I Heard They Kill Live, as well as a graphic novel, Inked in Blood, released a year later in 2021. The band also released a cover of Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. And just like a mass killer at a teenage beach house party, the band could still never rest. On July 2021, the band released a new single, Hip to Be Scared, featuring Jacoby Shaddix of nu metal legends Papa Roach.
Do you like Ice Nine Kills?
Not really.
Their early work was a little bit too scene for me.
And with that, the first single for their sequel album to The Silver Scream, The Silver Scream 2, Welcome to Horrorwood, was announced. After several more singles, their newest album was released on October 15th, 2021, featuring 14 songs yet again inspired by 14 new horror films, including American Psycho, The Evil Dead, Resident Evil, and Psycho, to just name a few. This new record also featured even more features, from the likes of Buddy Nielsen of Senses Fail, Ryan Kirby of Fit for a King, and Corpse Grinder, expanding their cinematic musical universe even further. They even upped the ante at their live shows with more theatrics by maxing out the horror-themed imagery. It's almost like a horror movie-inspired Gwar set, but without the sex jokes and the alien costumes. Now in present day, the band has had a series of massively successful singles and have shared the stage with the likes of Metallica, Falling in Reverse, and Slipknot, making them able to open the door for theater kids and horror movie fanatics alike to get into metalcore and all it has to offer. They've even had their own horror convention, something I don't think a single metalcore band has been able to pull off. All of these accomplishments make Ice Nine Kills the perfect example of a band who stays busy and is consistent with their product, even when the odds weren't always in their favor. Through their time as a band, they've managed to carve their way to becoming one of the biggest current modern metal bands on the planet. As always, thank you so much for checking out this video. Make sure to give this video a like, comment your favorite Ice Nine Kills song, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.